Thank y'all for tuning back in to your favorite channel. It's your boy Pelican Bay K9's giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Some folk gonna like it and some folk ain't. Y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to hit that like button before you get up out of here and drop down in the comments like your brothers and sisters always do. Big shout out and big salute to all the dog lovers across America, all the dog lovers across South America and Europe as well. Big salute and big shout out to every dog lover across this world from one side to the other. All my folk in Ireland, all my folk in Iceland, all my folk in Croatia, all over. Big salute to all the dog lovers. Y'all tuned in now to your channel, PBK9s. I got some dog news today, and we got a little bit of dog talk. I'm going to start this thing off with some dog talk, and then we're going to get into the news. First thing I want to speak about today is the importance of imprinting and socialization. When I did that video, earlier with Mellow Yellow and Sassy and telling y'all about socialization, I left out one thing, because a lot of people may get confused, so I want to straighten this out, and at least explain it, hopefully to where each and every person can understand it. All right, I was speaking on socialization, but this is the thing. I was saying socialization in the last video, but at the end of the day, it's about imprinting. Socialization as well, but socialization is more of a, taking the dog to the tractor store when you're going to buy your dog food, letting them see people, taking them out to the park when people are around, socializing them. Basically, just like the word is saying, socializing them. But when it comes to imprinting, that's the key thing. Imprinting. I imprint my puppies before I let them go to anybody. You see, a lot of folk will give you a puppy that hasn't even been imprinted yet. And when you get that puppy, that's when you liable to get a scared puppy. That's when you get a puppy that runs from you. When you do certain things. Imprinting is more important than socialization, because it depends on what you're using that dog for. Socialization, you may not have to really socialize. I may not take my dog to the stores, inside the stores. I may not take my dog to the park. My dog may not be around a whole lot of people because of my lifestyle or because of her lifestyle or because of his lifestyle. The dog may not be, a social dog. And like I always say, you get a dog according to your lifestyle. You train a dog according to your lifestyle. So at the end of the day, imprinting, first step of imprinting. When we get these dogs and they're 4 weeks old, some brothers don't know what imprinting, or some sisters don't know what imprinting is. You want to take these dogs. I'm going to give you a quick example. Once my dog has had his shots, once my dog is, ready to run around and play out in the yard and stuff like that, then I may take it. You may see me with my dog at the park, the park with the swings and stuff at it. You know how the kids got the little play thing where they climb all up and slide down the sliding boards and stuff like that. Imprinting, I may take the puppy on that, because on our playpen thing, we have like a bridge, and it's not a stable bridge. It's like a floppy. It's floppy, so when you walk across it, you kind of, it's not stable, but it's not going to fall or anything. It's just made to feel that way. But when you let the dogs walk across it, some dogs won't walk across it. But when you take a puppy and start them off from, 4, 6 weeks old, letting them walk across stuff like that. When you take a puppy and introduce them to certain environments, you take a small puppy and introduce them to different activities. That's what it's all about with imprinting. So if you buy a puppy for me at 8 weeks old, he or she should be properly imprinted already. And I'm not talking about socialization, what I was speaking about on the last video. We'll get to that in a second. But imprinting, I kind of got it a little wrong, but I didn't get it wrong, but I was saying the wrong word for y'all brothers. When I didn't want to say socialize all the time, I was meaning to say imprinting, teaching this dog and letting this dog go through certain things. Even if socialization and imprinting all go together, because I may want my dog to be around certain people. So I'm going to take him around that person while they real young, 4, 6 weeks old. Whenever I got that dog running around in the yard, whatever age he starts running around in the yard. And the imprint can start before you actually even get him in the yard. Because we already discussed how to make a dog a super puppy, how to make a dog a super dog with the thermal I'm getting the word wrong. The biothermal exercise. I'm gonna say it like that. The biothermal exercise. When you take your dog, you flip them over. You rub them this way, you turn them that way, you hold them this way for a certain amount of seconds to make the super dog in the long run. All that's doing is making your dog used to certain things. And it's even proven that doing that actual exercise with your dog from the ages of 2 days to 14 days, I want to say, from 2 to 14 days, the dog brain is so open like a sponge. You put that stuff in them, you don't think that dog is learning anything at the age of 2 weeks old, 2 days old, sorry, at the age of 2 days old to 14 days. It's so many things you can put in these dogs at that age. That's the most important age of puppy development, from the ages of 4 weeks old to, I'm going to say, 8 weeks. From 1 month to 2 months. The things that you do in between that 1 month and that 2 month is very, very, very important. Imprinting. And you wouldn't believe how much better these dogs be when they're imprinted at a young age. It's not hard to take your dog to Tractor Store if he's 6 weeks, 8 weeks old. Let him run around the store. When you come in, you may have to carry him in. But once he get in, let him run around the store for a few minutes, a few seconds. I guarantee you, when he gets 6, 7, 8 months old, 9 months old, he come in and track the store like it's his second home. That's what you want. Especially when brothers are training these dogs for protection dogs and all other kind of things. You got to imprint this stuff in these dogs at a young age, or you won't see this stuff in the dog. I don't care what breed of dog it is. Because like I was saying in the last video, we sometimes we neglect our imprinting, we neglect our early training to think because these dogs come off of a smart class of dogs, because I got a dog off of Australian Shepherd, I'm thinking, oh, I got any time to train this dog. He's smart. I could train this dog anytime to do that stuff I see the guide dog doing on TV. And you may be right, but you are wrong at the same time, because you don't know what that brother did to that dog. And 9 times out of 10, that brother or sister did a great imprinting on that dog as a puppy. And believe me, a puppy that has been properly imprinted from 4 to 8 weeks old, and then you compare it to one, wait till he get 4 months old, and then you compare it to a 4-month-old dog who hasn't been imprinted or nothing. He just been in the cage with his mama, getting good worming them good, feeding them good. You taking care of them, but he wasn't imprinted. It's when you bring the other stuff out these dogs, imprinting them, man. And I'm not, when it comes to all my puppies, I don't sell a puppy to a brother thinking he may go to train them. I just imprint my puppies regardless, because when you get them, I don't want them to be scary. I don't want them to be jumping from this, jumping from that. I kind of want them to be riding in the car ready. When we have dogs that scared to get in the cars, that just, just riding in the car just terrifies them, it's because it wasn't properly imprinted. All this stuff can be put in the dog at a very young age. And if you think putting your dog in a car at 4 to 8 weeks old is not going to affect them in the next few, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, you're sadly mistaken. And that's the difference, man. That's the difference. Now, socialization is about putting this dog around people. Do this dog need to be around certain people? Are you going to be having this dog like a CNI dog? Is this dog like a personal protection or some type, like I was telling the brother with the protection dogs? What's a protection dog that you got to tie up when you talk to somebody? He can't protect you. What's a firearm that you got to put up when you may need it? Or I got to put it up right now. There's not no protection. That's not, I'm going to put it to you like this real. You come talk to me, we just speaking, about anything, and I'm holding a big rifle on my shoulder. You see it, I'm not hiding it. It may make you not do anything, but at the same time, If you wanted to do something, you can, because you see right here, and it really can't help me. You know, if you get so close to me, it really can't help me. You need to have that thing right there on your waist, and I don't know about it, in order for the protection to really work. Because then I'll slap you. I don't think you got nothing on you, and then you use your stuff for protection or whatever. So if I got a dog who can't be, I can't keep him beside me. He just so crazy, what we call junkyard dogs. If he's a junkyard dog, how can he protect me if I just need for him to be protecting me in regular day-to-day life? We're not talking about me go grabbing him and sticking him on somebody. We're talking about him chilling right beside me until the time is needed. And the only way you can do that is socializing them at a young age, imprinting them at a young age, letting them know this is not the time to do this. You know, letting them feel comfortable in certain situations as a youngster. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. And like I said, I want to send a big shout out to all the dog channels out there. Big salute to all the dog channels. Big salute to South Bottle Kennels doing the dog show this weekend. Big salute to Samurai Kennels with the digital dog show coming up, you know, later on in the summer. Big shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there doing the right things with these dogs. We about to get into a little bit of this news, and we'll get back to some more of that dog talk. But first, when it comes to this news, you know, the first little bit I got for you, we got a man outside of a school dressed in camouflage. Now, y'all know how crazy these school shootings getting nowadays. You know how crazy all this stuff getting in these schools. We got to pay attention to all this stuff. We got a man outside of a school wearing camouflage, get this, with 2 pit bulls. 2 pit bulls. Now, folks see him out there looking suspicious. Call the police. Police come. Talk to him. You know, kind of see that, you know, maybe it's not all there mentally. Maybe he be going through some things, because we all go through some things. You know, you can't say a brother is having a mental breakdown or mental problems. Maybe he's just going through some things like any other human being go through or whatever. But I'm going to let y'all get into the story, because after they start talking, the brothers, somehow or another, he start wrestling for the gun. They, you know, make a long story short, man, y'all check this out. You know, man outside of a school with camouflage with 2 pit bulls. And he had the pit bulls, you know, I guess trained, or not necessarily trained, but he can have them off leash. They was off leash around him, you know. So y'all check this out. The first little bit of news, PBK9's giving it to you the way I always do. So y'all sit back and enjoy the fun.
They arrest a man outside Bellwood Antis High School. This was on Friday.
A school officer made the call shortly after the school day began, saying a man was outside acting suspicious and had 2 pit bulls with him that weren't on leashes. Bellwood police arrived at the school about 8:30 a.m. Talked to Daniel Richardson of Altoona. The officers say Richardson was wearing camouflage and a red beret, and when questioned by police, he said he was special ops. Police called Richardson an ambulance, believing he was having a medical issue. While waiting for EMS to arrive, police say that Richardson then attempted to fight an officer and take his gun. Officers stopped him and arrested him. He was taken to UPMC Altoona for evaluation.
Now, y'all don't forget to hit that like button before y'all brothers and sisters get out of here. Don't forget to hit that like button. Big salute to my brothers and sisters down in the chat right now. Big salute to my brothers and sisters watching the video from afar. You know, big salute. Now, we come to a situation where we have an off-duty police officer driving along, and he sees pit bulls attacking a woman. So, you know, off-duty or on-duty, he jumps out to make his save, to save the woman. End up, make a long story short, he shot one of the dogs, or he killed one of the dogs, you know, the de-escalate the situation. So y'all check this out. PBK9's officer stops, shoots a dog to save a woman.
11, an off-duty police officer shot and killed a pit bull that was attacking a woman in Southwest Philadelphia. Police tell us the officer was driving along South 58th Street when he spotted 3 dogs attacking the woman. The dog's owner was trying to get control of the animals, but couldn't. Investigators say the officer fired several shots at the dogs. 1 died. The woman had to be taken to a hospital to be treated for bite wounds to her leg, arm, and head. The officer was placed on administrative leave while the incident is being investigated.
Now, to all my brothers who learn martial arts or take martial arts, this is a story for you. You know, we have a brother walking through the park with his little poodle, or, you know, look what looks to be a mixed poodle. And a pit bull charges, comes out of nowhere, grabs the poodle by the neck, goes in for the finish, tries to hurt the dog. Really, he's hurting the dog. What does the owner do? He thinks quick. His Tae Kwon Do skills kicks in quick. He jumps down on the dog, starts working his Tae Kwon Do. You know, with the help of a good pedestrian lady who comes and tries to free the small dog from the mouth while the man is down doing his Tae Kwon Do. They end up getting the small dog from the pit bull, but first they all receive a little bites. The lady got bit on the hand, the man got bit a couple times, but the dog eventually let go. Now, that's not the kicker to this. The kicker to this is the owner of the dog eventually comes and said, it's the lady, she comes and said, that's my dog. She grabbed the dog up or whatever. But do you know that she was not charged with anything? She was not charged with anything. They just told her that she may have to put her dog, or she actually volunteered to put her dog in quarantine for a few days. And you know, I've seen several incidents like this in my area and throughout the news. Sometimes they don't take your dog. Sometimes when your dog bites somebody or does something where it attacks another dog, they just require him to be in a quarantine for a week, however long they want him to be in quarantine, to make sure he don't have rabies and stuff like that. And that's the same situation with this. You know, I just say, at least she should have got some tickets or something.
On 13, a man says he was forced to punch a dog that was attacking his best friend. He says a large dog attacked his dog, himself, and another person. He's sharing the story with ABC 13's Luke Jones live from Montrose tonight. Luke.
Both those people and that dog in bandages now, but otherwise all right. That attack happening right here on this street corner, and during that, the dog's owner, the attacking dog's owner, nowhere to be found. In fact, it wasn't until this afternoon that authorities finally tracked her down.
We walk a couple of miles, and we were right at the tail end of our walk when this incident occurred.
On the streets of Montrose Sunday,
I started kicking the pit bull.
a fierce battle between man and dog.
I took the pit bull to the ground, and I started punching him in the head.
All Fred Schiller says to free his own dog, Verve, from the pit bull's mouth.
Everybody was screaming.
Schiller says it all began when he was walking Verve at Indiana and Morse,
I had been coming down that side,
and the pit bull charged at them from across the street.
and the next thing I know is that pit bull makes a beeline.
He quickly takes hold of Verve, chomping down on his neck. Schiller, who once trained in Tae Kwon Do, says he had no choice but to put those skills to use.
And I kept punching and punching. He wouldn't drop him, and my dog was screaming. His eyes were bulging out. I thought he was going to die.
Ellen Blasio tries intervening.
Without thinking, I ran over to kind of grab the little dog.
Efforts that earn her multiple bites on one of her hands. Schiller is also bitten, but ultimately manages to restrain the attacking dog.
I kept the pit bull pinned down with his head in the mud because I thought, okay, if I let this thing up, I'm next.
That's when he says the dog's owner drives up. We're blurring her face since she's not charged with a crime.
She gets out of her car and she says, that's my dog.
After days of trying, Bark finally tracked her down today and says she's agreed to bring the dog in for quarantine to watch for signs of rabies. But Bark says she likely won't be cited for having her dog off leash since none of its officers witnessed that for themselves.
I said, that's all you're going to do? I said, this dog almost killed my dog. It's a danger.
And Bark says Schiller still has the option of going to a local justice of the peace court and having the dog declared a dangerous dog. However, ultimately, that decision is up to a judge.
You know, they really didn't stress how the dog got loose. They just say the dog was loose, you know. And as you can see, my brothers and sisters, it's another dog. I'm not saying it's not a pit bull, but what I will say is it's a blue one. It's a blue one. What I always tell brothers, you know, and my brothers who got these blue dogs, you cannot think I'm talking about your dog. I'm talking about the masses of blue dogs. These blue dogs will attack you, you know. And like I always say, it's easier for me to pull the bite if I'm trying to do bite work out of a blue dog than it is out of a red boy Jocko, out of a Eli, out of a Bolio dog. You know, the game bred dogs. It's harder to pull the bite, the human bite out of them dogs than it is the blue dogs. And that's why I always say a lot of the attacks that you see across this country come from dogs of silver or gray color. And I'm not even going to call them pit bulls. I'm not even going to call them bullies. Sometimes it's neither one. But just like we get the blame for a lot of stuff, the bullies may get the blame for it, and it's not even a bully. This dog could be mixed, like the dude in Compton. Them wasn't bully dogs. We got to be real, man. That's why I tell brothers with these dog channels. That's why I said big shout out to Big Gemini last time when I did the video. But I hate that Big Gemini didn't recognize that these dogs were not American pit bull terriers. And if he did recognize it, he didn't say anything about it. You know, we need more brothers to speak up from the higher levels, you know, that say, oh, these not pit bulls. These are pit bulls, but them dogs that did this attack are not pit bulls, you know. And it comes down to this situation right here. Now, as we slide over to Butler County, we come to a situation where I'm walking through a park and I see a bag down there. You know, it's my dream. Like I said, you couldn't shit me and pull me back in the dope game. Only way I'll touch some more drugs if I'm walking on the beach and I see the thing floating down, coming, the big bang, you know, the big stash floating on the beach water, coming toward me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna straight up tell you right here on the camera. If I'm out there on the beach walking and some of that stuff float in from the ocean, I'm gonna get that and take that, and we're gonna try to figure out what we're gonna do with that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you couldn't shit me and pull me in the game. And what's the chances of me walking on the beach and the stash coming to me from out the Atlantic Ocean? Somewhere from Jamaica, somewhere from Colombia or Mexico or somewhere that done floated and found its way to me. Not to the other brother 2-3 miles down or the other sister 2-3 miles, to me. What's the chances on that happening? So that's why I say, I'm not going to lie. If it did happen, I'm going to get it and I'm gone. I'm going to look around and I ain't waiting to see if y'all come running at it, because y'all are trying to trick me out of it and y'all will take it. I'm getting it and I'm gone. But anyway, this situation, we in a park. We ain't find nothing illegal, but what we found was illegal. You know, we found a dog, a puppy, tied up in a bag where the owner tried to kill him. Thought that was going to suffocate him, but the puppy was strong enough to make it. Strong enough to make it to somebody find him tied up in that bag. And now he's on the news, and now he's doing better. PBK9s, let's get into it.
Detectives believe that a Middletown man's responsible for tying a puppy in that bag and then dumping it at a local park. Jessica Schmidt's at the alert desk with an update on this investigation. A lot of us are very interested in this.
Yeah, absolutely, Tricia. So we can tell you today that Harold Lilly is now facing charges of cruelty to a companion animal and abandoning animals. Butler County Sheriff's Office detectives believe Lilly was the person who tied this puppy up in a drawstring bag and then left it at L.J. Smith Park in Hamilton. We're told a park employee found it April 24th and called the dog wardens, who then came and took the puppy to Animal Friends Humane Society. Workers there say they believe the dog, who they have now named Ryder, is between 2 and 3 months old. They say when he first came in, he was lethargic and weak and was not acting like a normal puppy. At last check, they say he is improving every day, moving around his cage and even crying for attention. Sheriff Richard Jones has told us that it appears Lilly wanted Ryder, that puppy, to die. Lilly, we're told, is in the Butler County Jail. Officials at Animal Friends say since Ryder is part of this ongoing cruelty investigation, it's not clear when or if he could be up for adoption. Now, at this point, Tricia, I'm sure a lot of people still have some questions about this.
Yeah.
But this is all the information we have right now, is that Harold Lilly is facing charges, has been arrested and booked into the jail.
Yeah, that is amazing, with no cameras there. And somebody just, park worker happened to find it.
Right.
And that we went from that to an arrest.
We do know that, according to Animal Friends anyway, that there were a lot of tips coming in. So a big question we have too is, was it one of those tips that connected the dots for the investigators?
Sure, I'm sure we'll find out. Just thanks.
Now, that's all of the news. That's all of the news today. But I want to speak on a couple more things before I get up out of here. like I told y'all boys a few weeks ago, I ain't going back and forth with you. Only reason I responded to the foolishness over the past couple days is because I ain't like how y'all was trying to play samurai, you know? And you know how many brothers was telling me I should have stayed out of it because how them boys did me? But you know what I say? You lead by example, you know? You lead by example. You show brothers at the end of the day what time it is. A lot of things don't need to be talked about. You need to show actions. You know what I'm saying? Actions. And like I said, the only reason I spoke a lot of y'all brothers' names, you know, is because I ain't like how the situation was going. Other than that, you don't have to worry about being on my show because to me, y'all useless. Y'all worthless. You know, so I don't get no kick out of mentioning you. I don't get no kick out of talking about you, putting your name in my title. No, none of that. You know, I got bigger and better things going on. These brothers want to hear the news. These brothers want to talk about dogs. You know, they want to talk about, like I see a lot of brothers posting over the past few months, how to make your own baking soda flea dip, your own solution in the pools and stuff, getting these dogs dipped for the summer, ready for the summer, all these flies, the skin problems and all the different things, the fleas and stuff like that. You know, it's more things to worry about than a lot of y'all hating mentalities that's involved with these swamps. It ain't my fault that you fucked up when you had a chance to have dogs. No matter how much trashing you trash me, you still can't have no dogs. Some of y'all brothers. No matter what you say about me, it ain't gonna change the fact that you can't have a dog. Well, no matter what you say about me, it ain't gonna change the fact that my clientele is my clientele and your clientele is yours. Like the brother say, you think because somebody say, oh, don't buy Nikes, that's gonna stop all the brothers from buying Nikes? And because you a Reebok fan, or because you a Nike fan and you say don't buy Reeboks, you know, because I can, a lot of y'all may be too young for this, but I remember when they were saying that don't buy Reeboks way when we was younger, had something to do with something about Africa, some kind of prejudice stuff that was going on in Africa at the time, and they were saying don't buy Reeboks, you know. You think that stopped these brothers in America from buying Reeboks? Classics? No, man. Their clientele is their clientele. Y'all sound stupid, and I would sound stupid saying, oh, if you deal with him, don't come watch my channel. Or if you deal with her, don't come watch my channel. That's ignorant. It's dumb shit. You know, stuff that is not reality. And this channel is about giving you reality. Sometimes the reality I'm giving y'all brothers is too harsh for a lot of y'all brothers to even sink in y'all head. You know, but it just is what it is. It's not going to stop me from giving it. It's just going to know what type of folk I'm dealing with out here. Know what type of folk I'm dealing with. And everybody don't got common sense. Everybody don't got logical sense. Everybody don't got school sense. Book smarts. You know, we dealing with all different type of folk out here. Everybody ain't street smart. You know, everybody ain't street. You know, it just is what it is, man. Is what it is. At the end of the day, all I can do is give the news, give this dog talk for brothers who ready to take care of these dogs, brothers who got different breeds and may be getting this breed for the first time. You know, I don't know a lot about every breed. Just like the brother Street Rossi. Street Rossi, big salute to you, fam, with the Presser Canaries. Although I did have several dealings with Presser Canaries. I did bite work with Presser Canaries. You know, and I know brothers who got them. I don't know as much about Presser Canaries as I know about Malawi's. I don't know much about Malawi's as I know about pit bulls. Because I'm a pit bull man. I know that in and out and in, left and right, up and down. You know? So it just learning the breeds of these dogs together, learning about certain things. And like the brother franchise said in a comment he made not too long ago, y'all brothers and y'all sisters and us sisters, whoever, we need to learn about these breeds before we get these dogs. Do as much information, research on these breeds that you know, you may feel like you love it, but a lot of brothers fall in love with a breed because of a movie, because of something they seen on TV. And then when you get these dogs, it's far from what you seen on TV. Other than the look. Oh, it looked like that dog you seen on TV. But man, I wish I would have knew all this before I got a dog. It pays to do your research. And research means reading more than just one paragraph. Look at these videos. Check what this brother's saying out. Check what that brother's saying out. Do your research across the board. Learn about the bloodlines. The same way y'all brothers learn about bloodlines when it comes to pit bulls and the bloodline matter. Every dog, all these dogs have bloodlines. Whether it's Malawi's, Poodles, Rottweilers, Doberman Pinschers, Band Dogs, whatever. There's bloodlines to that particular breed of dog. Each bloodline carry their own traits. Same way the pit bulls do. Bloodlines carry their own traits. You can't just go buy a pit bull and say you're going to like it, right? If you're into bloodlines and stuff. Only way you can buy a pit bull like that, if you're not into bloodlines, you're not into papers, you just want a bulldog. So you happy with any pit bull as long as it's the kind that, one that's acting right around your family and want to be a lovable dog. You don't care about the bloodlines. But if you're a bloodline person, you can't just accept anything. So it goes back to the same thing with the Malawi's, the Rottweilers, all the other stuff, Doberman Pinschers. All these dogs have bloodlines. This bloodline, that bloodline. Some of these dogs act better than these dogs. These dogs may be scarier than these dogs. These dogs may be more aggressive than these dogs. So do your research, man, before you be tied up with something that you don't really want. That you don't really want. And like we always say, it's harder to get out of trouble than it is to stay out of trouble. It don't mean you getting in trouble with the dog. It just means once you get a dog that you may not really be fond with in the long run, it's too late now because you done fell in love with that dog. The dog is part of the family now, so you don't want to get rid of the dog. You know what I'm saying? So now you stuck with all the troubles that dog brings just because you love that dog. But if you can do it again, you wouldn't do it again. And that all that means is you didn't do enough research on the dog from the start. So that's why I tell my brothers to research these dogs, check the lines out, even if you a pit bull man, research all the bloodlines that you're looking for, what you're trying to get or what you're trying to add to your program. So that way when you get it, it's kind of what you research. You seeing exactly what you research in that dog, and that's all it is to it, man. Happy dog gonna lead to a happy dog owner, and you will have less problems in the long run. Your dog won't be, because a dog that starts to get stressed out starts to cause problems. Tearing up stuff, tearing up your yard, tearing up your house, tearing up whatever he could tear up. Getting in trouble here, getting in trouble there. And all that comes from sometimes a dog that's overstressed, a dog that's not disciplined, and it just comes from lack of research on that particular breed. Lack of research. Like I can say, I want to sell these dogs to this kind of person and that kind of person. But at the end of the day, if you want that dog, how many people are you going to actually have to turn down just because they didn't do the research on that dog? If you come saying, I want that dog, man. I want one. Let me know when you got a litter. I'm thinking you already did your research, and all I'm watching for is making sure this dog goes to a good owner, somebody who's going to take care of it, as well as now I want the dog to go to somebody who knows the breed, who knows how to conduct with these dogs, who knows what these dogs are capable of. So it won't be no surprises 6 months down the line, a year down the line, a surprise where a dog done got loose and did something that you didn't expect for him to do because you did your research on it. And that's just all it is to it, man. Do your research on your dog, imprinting your dog, making sure your dog is at 8 weeks old. He got an old soul, how they say. He got an old soul. That joker everywhere. He follows you everywhere. Old school style. He got all the shots. He good when he go out different places. Let him go out walking with you. Let him follow you different places. Imprinting. You teaching him. You teaching him to stay beside you, walk with you. When you walking past people, he may run off as a puppy, but it's gonna be easier to get him back as a puppy. Before I say, come here, boy, come on, boy. No, come on, we gotta go. Or let that person pet him. If he go up to him, let him pet him, let him play with him. That way he won't start chasing people, want to bite people. When he go up to somebody, he gonna be used to them petting them, rubbing them, and stuff like that. And believe me, you do not make a dog pussy. Excuse my French, but you do not make a dog scary, pussy, punkish, none of that by letting people rub them. Your dog's supposed to have that built in them, that protection wise. So when we do our protection work, we We pull that out of them. That's what it comes back to, having a dog that'll sit right here, wagging his tail, just chilling. He seemed like he's not doing nothing, but he watching everything. The moment somebody violates you, he moves faster than a bolt of lightning. Faster than the bolt of lightning in the process. And that's what it's all about when it comes to imprinting and socialization. Imprinting is going to be dealing more with showing your dog different things, putting your dog in different obstacles, putting your dog in different environments. Right now, before the other people come get this dog, before anybody come pick this dog up for the first buy, he done been through all kind of stuff. He may not go through it no more, but whenever they decide to take their dog to these different environments, they will see how the dog act, how the dog reacts in these environments, And that's just all it is to it, man. Not going to be here long today. Hope y'all brothers and sisters got something from it. Take something back from it. Salute to all my Bulldog channels doing the right things out here with these dogs, staying legal, staying positive with these dogs. Y'all stay safe out there. And remember, we all got it first. PBK9's Dog Talk and News for the day, for this good old Wednesday. And I'm out.
Bridgeton, New Jersey prosecutors want money from the owner of two young pit bulls for veterinary care received since their seizure last month in raids against an alleged major dog fighting ring based in Cumberland County. Roosevelt Hart, 29, of East Broad Street in Millville, has been ordered to appear in the matter on Monday, May 13 in Cumberland County Superior Court. The state is demanding Hart pay $3,024.88. According to the civil complaint filed on April 22 against Hart, the state seized a total of 128 pit bulls in the raids from multiple defendants. Hart was among 8 people criminally charged by state authorities. Deputy Attorney General Andre R. Araujo states that Hart is the only defendant refusing to surrender ownership of their dogs to the Humane Society of the United States. Both his dogs are male, American Pit Bull Terriers, with one about 9 weeks old and one about 18 months old. The civil complaint states Hart in March had been observed leaving his Millville apartment. Hart allegedly drove with a dog he placed in a crate to a compound on the 5300 block of Route 49 in Maurice River Township. Additionally, the investigation recovered footage and other indicia that one or more fighting dogs owned by Hart were being trained at the compound, Araujo states. The complaint states that 2 days after they were taken, a veterinarian assessed the younger pit bull as underweight at 15.6 pounds, testing positive for hookworm, showing signs of mild dehydration, and with long nails. The doctor said the second pit bull, weighing 52.6 pounds, had an infected right ear, an open laceration on the tip of his nose, and scarring on his face and legs. The complaint states that Hart would cease being responsible for medical costs once he turns ownership over to the Humane Society. Judge James Swift will hear the case against Hart. The New Jersey Division of Criminal Justice investigators and New Jersey State Police led the raids. Search warrants were executed at 2 Cumberland properties, including Hart's residence, as well as at one property in Atlantic County. The Office of the Attorney General alleges Hart is a kennel partner in training.